You can represent negative binary numbers with sign magnitude, 1's complement, or 2's complement. 1's complement really isn't that useful, so I'll ignore it. The normal way is 2's complement. That's how computers do it. It's easy to make circuitry. It's wonderful. But sign magnitude is still useful. In my case, for an upcoming project, it's a very easy way to represent a negative number to be read and then converted. But what if you want to do the conversion in hardware? Well, first, what is the conversion? Let's say we have the number -1. If we had a 2-bit binary number, that would be 0, 1. We could say positive would be 0, 0, 1, and negative would be 1, 0, 1. So the sign bit, 1 means negative, and then the number. In 2's complement, positive 1 is still 0, 0, 1, but negative 1 is 1, 1, 1. The first bit is still a sign bit, but the representation thereafter is different, and it works out great for making circuitry and doing math with it, but it's not as intuitive to the human. So if we had our 2-bit plus sign bit for 3 total bit numbers, positive 3, positive 2, positive 1, positive 0, negative 0, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3, positive and negative 0. That's one of the ways that this is not great. But like I said, it's nice to represent it. For example, let's say you have a voltage range divided into 2 pieces. That gives you 1 bit. Divide those each into 2 pieces, that gives you another bit. Divide those again, that gives you a 3rd bit. So sign magnitude would be just one way to think about this voltage range split up. You have this be your 0 volts, this is positive voltage, and this is negative voltage. And then we would represent this in the computer with a 3-bit 2's complement number. But in the circuitry I'm going to show you in the future, it's going to end up in sign magnitude form. And that's okay, because we can convert it. So this is 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, and negative 4. So a 3-bit 2's complement number can represent these 8 values. 2 to the 3rd power is 8 values. And here are the 2's complement forms of these numbers. So we want to get from here to here. Well, we can see the first bit is the sign bit. That's easy. What about the next bits? Well, if the sign bit is 0, then we just pass through the other 2 bits. If the sign bit is 1, 0, 0 becomes 1, 1, 0, 1 becomes 1, 0, 1, 0 becomes 1, 1, and 1, 1 becomes 0, 0. So we can just invert them. So to convert this into 2's complement representing those 8 ranges, all we have to do is pass through the sign bit and invert the other bits if the sign bit is high, is 1 rather, whatever voltage that ends up being. So that's one way to do it. But if you remember, sign magnitude, this was negative 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So I've actually changed the number, because the point of it is to represent those 8 ranges in order so we know which range it's in. What if we actually wanted to convert the number? What if we actually wanted to take a sign magnitude number, which is negative 0, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3, and get 0, negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3 in 2's complement, and there would be no way to represent negative 4. There's no way to say negative 4 in a 3-bit sign magnitude form, so it just wouldn't exist. This is easy. In order to take any positive binary number and turn it into a 2's complement negative number, basically negate it into 2's complement form, you flip every single bit and you add 1. So for example, we have 1 is 0, 0, 1. Flip the bits is 1, 1, 0. Then we add 1. So we get 1 no carry, 1 no carry, 1 no carry, it's 1, 1, 1. There we go. If we had negative 3, so 3 is 0, 1, 1. Invert it, 1, 0, 0. Add 1, 1, 0, 1. And 0 works out too, because 0 is 0, 0, 0. Flip the bits, it's 1, 1, 1. Add 1. 0 carry the 1. 0 carry the 1. 0 carry the 1, 1, but we don't care. We ignore that bit, and we get 0 again. So if you take the negative of 0, you get 0. So that'll work. So the circuitry ends up being incredibly simple. You take the input and you put it into a bus buffer. This is my way of doing it. There's a million different ways of doing it. But if you take the number, put it through a bus buffer, you invert it, and you put that through a bus buffer, you can use the sign bit to select which bus buffer, so that you'll get the sign bit and then not flipped, or the sign bit and flipped. And then, if you want to do this, after you have the inverter, you put it into an adder chip, and then the adder chip goes into the other bus buffer. So the bus buffer is just selecting whether you are leaving the bits alone when it's positive or messing with the bits when it's negative. And the sign bit does that. Super stupid easy. So let me show you. Standard 5-volt supply for computing. My input board is sending 4 signals, which is going to be a sign bit and 3 magnitude bits. So a 4-bit number, which can represent 16 values, in my case, 7 to -8, or 7 to -7, depending on which way you're looking at it. The input signal will be shown here. The leftmost bit is the highest bit, as usual. I've got a standard digital logic inverter, adder, and bus buffer. It's got 2 4-bit buffers on one chip. I've gone over these concepts before. Look at relevant videos if you would like to see how bus buffers work, adders work, or whatever. Doesn't matter which chip it is, anything that does the same thing will work. I have my input signals going into one side of the bus buffer. The input signals are also going through the inverter into the adder, and I've got the 2 separate so I can just move the wires. And then the sign bit is also being inverted and used as the selector for the bus buffer. There are bus buffers that select internally, so you don't have to invert that signal. But like I said, whatever chip you use, just wire it up so it works with that chip. This is the general concept. There's no point in going over a detailed schematic because you can do it different ways with different chips. And then the output is going to be over here. So right now I have it set up so that the input is going to be treated as sign magnitude form, but more importantly, it's going to be treated as those 8 voltage ranges. So I want to convert them to 2's complement form from 7 to -8. So we can see that 0 is 0, 1 is 1, 7 is 7, as you would expect. But if I make it negative, 0 becomes -1, because there's no -0. -1 represents the first highest negative region. And then if I make it 7, this is -8. So negative voltage and then 7 means the lowest voltage range, which is represented with a -8 and 2's complement. So that's exactly what I want when I'm using sign magnitude to represent a set of regions. But now let me switch it to the other one. So now I move the wires, and the intention now is, just as before, I'm going to have +7 to -7 in sign magnitude form, and I want to have +7 to -7 in 2's complement form. I'm treating it as the actual number, not an index into a region. So we can see 0 is 0, 1 is 1, 7 is 7, just like before. The positive numbers are unchanged. But now, if I start at 0 and flip it negative, you can see we're still getting 0. Positive and -0 are both resulting in 2's complement 0. If I make it -1, now we can see we're at -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and -7. And there is no -8, which would be 1, 0, 0, 0. So there you go. So that's how you can implement a conversion from sign magnitude to 2's complement in circuitry, whether you're actually doing it as math or you're doing it to convert to a mode that a microcontroller would understand. So in a practical sense, you'd either want to do this in software or you'd use a dedicated chip to do it. But it's always great to know just in case you ever want to use a bunch of logic chips to make your own CPU. Or for whatever reason you just want to save the conversion. So no matter why you want to do it, that's how you do it. So I'll be seeing you.